Senator Gold, Canada's steel industry is in crisis. With U.S. tariffs now doubled to 50%, production is falling, and more Canadian workers are at risk of being laid off. Yet the government's response, a delayed counter-tariff plan tied to uncertain trade talks, has been described by industry leaders as falling short. Back in March, under threat of these very tariffs, Prime Minister Mark Carney said his government was made to meet the moment. Well, if that's true, why isn't he meeting the moment for Canada's steel industry? Why isn't he stepping up with the swift support and trade measures other workers urgently need?
Senator Gold.
Thank you for your question and for underlying the challenges that workers in the steel industry, as so many other workers in so many other industries, are facing, given the tariffs that have been unjustly imposed and the uncertainty that remains with regard to how these issues will ultimately be resolved. This government is working very, very diligently, carefully, and regularly to address all of these issues, including the lifting of the tariffs and including making sure that the proper supports are put in place to help our industries. A day does not go by when the Prime Minister and his ministers are engaged on this file. They'll continue to do so and we hope that the situation will stabilize and improve for the benefit of Canadian workers and companies and families.
Senator Husakos.
Well, this government isn't working very effectively for steel workers, I can tell you that. When the Prime Minister dismissively asked last January, how much steel are you using, steel workers and Canadians heard something else. A $15 billion industry, 12 million tons of annual production, 23,000 direct jobs, and 100,000 more that depend on it. Vital plants in places like Hamilton and Sault Ste. Marie. Will the government now show it truly understands what's at stake and act immediately with counter-tariffs on the U.S. and block the dumping of steel in Canada by repeated trade offenders?
Senator Gold.
The Minister has been very clear on all of these issues. It's also been clear that the path forward, whether it's in terms of increasing our defense investments or indeed the building of national projects, is to ensure that Canadian businesses and manufacturers, including those in the steel and aluminum sector, are fully utilized to support the growth of our economy and our defenses.